without any further ado here, I will welcome up our very own Dr. Ski to introduce today's speaker.
Thank you, Matt, and hello, everyone. After 17 months, it is great to see each and every one of you and to see those on Zoom as well. And I will say that each of you look younger and thinner than I last remembered. Wow. Sorry.
You must be half blind.
I'm sorry.
When's your ophthalmologist? I said the same thing.
So let me do this. Let me introduce Floyd Stokes to you. Many of you know Floyd, and so we'll reintroduce you to him. And for some, we may introduce you to him. He is the executive director and the founder of the American Literacy Corporation, which is a nonprofit organization that was established 21 years ago. The purpose of the organization is to promote the importance of reading. And I see Joe Begard there, who dumpster dived with Floyd maybe 21 years ago, getting books out of those trash bins to make sure that they were clean and ready to be distributed. But this group is looking to promote the importance of reading to students up until the 5th grade. Ongoing programs of ALC include, and many of you participated in them, the 500 Men Reading Week, the Child's Literacy Festival, library and school tours, Head Start visits, parent workshops, and most recently was the 365 reads. Every day for the last 365 days, there's been reading going on, thanks to Floyd and his organization, mainly his daughters, who helped out in a great way. He is himself the author of 20 books, and he co-authored books with his 2 daughters, Olivia and Madison. And Madison, by the way, is very special to me. She just finished her first class at Mr. Stokes is the recipient of several awards, and he is a recipient of an honorary doctorate degree from Central Penn College. He is the James Patterson Page Turner Award, and in his high school, the library was named after him, or renamed after him. In 2010, Mr. Stokes read to children in all 50 states. He currently serves on the board of Dauphin County Library System and the State Street Academy of Music. He was born in Mound Bayou, Mississippi, which is close to Memphis. He served for 6 years in the U.S. Army and is currently a resident, raising his daughters in Susquehanna Township. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a warm welcome for our own Floyd Stokes.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor for me to be here to tell you a little bit about the American Literacy Corporation and some things that are happening. And someone helped me put my PowerPoint presentation on, please.
Yes.
So as Dr. Ski mentioned, and thank you, Dr. Ski, for your support. Over the years, you hit the ground running when you came here, and we've been partnering ever since. And you've been a great supporter. To include Reading 365, love having you on the platform and all that you do for the community. And again, want to reiterate that many of you I've met, worked with, and know personally, and some of whom are not here for, I was told there's a golf outing or something happening. Yeah. And a couple of guys were at my book signing last week. Yeah, great, thank you. So I actually said, there we go. The American Literacy Corporation was founded in 2000 to promote reading for children. I was in Carlisle. I had just, before that, I had a music store downtown Carlisle. And before that, I was in the Army, last station at Carlisle Barracks. Just a wonderful community down there in Carlisle, embraced me. We started a couple of nonprofit organizations, running my music store. I saw the end of life, music as we know it with the store. And I'm looking for something like the gentleman said, something more fulfilling to do, because I found that I was spending most of my time on boards and in nonprofit, and that's where my love and passion was. So we founded the American Literacy Corporation to promote reading to kids. And I donned the Super Read outfit, came up with this catchy song, a book, pick it up, pick it up. And went all over the country singing and reading to kids. Just a wonderful, wonderful experience. And as you can see, I got over myself a long time ago. And then in 2008, I published my first book and over 20 children's books. The latest is the Story of Nelson Mandela, was published in May this year. Last year, I was contacted by a publishing company, and they said, we see what you're doing. We'd like you to submit a writing sample to possibly write this book. I did that, and there were 5 of us that submitted a writing sample, and they selected mine and me as the author for this book. We are in negotiation for another project, but it's just a humbling experience to be able to write about somebody such as Nelson Mandela. And of course, I learned a lot. November of 2019, we did something very brave. We had the 500 men reading. It started out as 100 men reading day, and it grew into the 500 men reading week. Several communities throughout Pennsylvania and the United States joined us, and we included with that career exploration that included the high schools and middle schools. And for years, women have been asking, what about us? And of course, obvious, that, men aren't as prevalent in schools. So that's why we started this. And I'm reading across the country to kids, but I'm like, there's gotta be other guys who want to do this. And we found them. They came out of the woodwork, and we've always got over 500 guys to participate. And November of last year, as I mentioned, we started, we called it the 100 Women Reading Day, but there were over 225 women who came out and went into schools to read. And Allie Lanyon was heavily involved, and she said, why is ours called the 100 Women Reading Day, and yours, the men, are the 500? She said, I know, because it takes 5 men to do the work of 1 woman. That's Allie. Last year, we postponed the reading days before. The school said you can come, but there's nothing was telling me to go into the schools because of what was happening on the ground. So we postponed it. My good friend Ron Claiborne, formerly of Good Morning America, is an integral part of this. And I told him, don't come, like 2 days before the reading. And so what do we do now that we can't meet in person? We started having readings in our backyard, Facebook Live and Zoom, and just trying to do something during this time, right? My girls and I, set up a reading station in the backyard and reading and singing, as you can see. Madison set up a book club to meet on Zoom. Very successful, and Tuesdays and Thursdays for a couple of months. We canceled 20 years. We had been going to libraries, a library tour. We canceled it, of course, last year. And so for my birthday, for the last few years, we were visiting a library, having 200 people come out and celebrate, not my birthday, but reading and celebrate them, because I gave each of them a present. And so what are we gonna do now? So on my birthday, we, again, trying to figure this thing out. We got some people together, had 3 hours of reading with Floyd and friends on Zoom, and it was very successful. And so we continued it throughout the summer having readings. We canceled our summer camp where we would have 100 kids, grades 3rd through 8th, get together for 2 weeks, a writing and illustration camp where the kids would create their own books. Had to cancel it. And so we moved into Zoom, got 30 brave kids to make that transition with us on Zoom. Again, just trying to figure it out. And then in the height, it was the upheaval of George Floyd. And I had this idea, doing nothing is not an option. So I'm gonna figure something out and how to be a positive voice to what was happening on the ground. So I, got some folks together and we founded the African American Memorial Fund. And the mission of that is to support families who have unarmed loved ones killed by the police. Me being Army, we can't even, as military, harm enemy combatants that are not armed. We can't touch them. So nothing makes sense to kill unarmed people who again, people who are not armed. That doesn't make sense to me. So we found the African American Memorial Fund last summer. And so one of the programs that we had was to say their names, remembering the names of those who were lost. So we founded that, we did that, and then this was held at Italian Lake. We had 20-some people call out names of unarmed African-American people, men and women, who were killed by the police. So it was very well attended. Nice cross-section of folks from the community that attended and participated. Again, trying to figure this out with the reading. During the summer, we had Zoom sessions, Facebook Live, and so we made a commitment that starting October 1st, that we will go live every single day at 11 o'clock and provide a reading time for people to come on. And we've had people from all across the United States and some international come on to read daily. We have 1 to 2 people, again, at 11 o'clock. So it's reading and then informational. And so the people log on and we have the Zoom sessions. And these are some pictures from the readings that we've had. New Year's Eve, we had 12 hours of reading from noon, New Year's Eve, to midnight. No, I'm sorry, 6 hours. From noon, no, what's it from 6? No, I think it's 12 hours. So it's from 12 noon to 12 midnight. We had a reader scheduled every 15 minutes. And so that was very successful. Some of our sponsors there. And we had Zoom, again, figuring this out online. We had a Zoom program where featuring animals. Kids would come on and show their animals. Then we have a professional group that would do that as well. Like Zoo America, Lake Tobias, they would kind of be the anchor in the feature. And we had 4-H organizations. Started in January, we have You Write essay contest where kids can write about different things. Again, because we're social distance, so we're trying to give kids something meaningful to do. So we have that, and then we have the award ceremony on Zoom, and then we send in their certificates. It's $50 for first place winners. And again, that's mostly has been throughout Pennsylvania. And then May, we launched Leyendo, started May every day at noon. We have people reading in Spanish, and that's every single day. And then also Leitura, which is Portuguese. We have people from Brazil reading, people from Mexico reading, people from all over reading, sharing stories. Leitura is actually held at 7 p.m. And then we were able to have our summer camp. We had about 25 kids that came out to the summer camp this past year.